John from JO Ventures Outdoors, and I'm here with another video for you. And this is one I've actually been wanting to make for quite a while, but just hadn't had a chance with some other projects and things going on. This is a video on survival in EDC tins. Now, I got interested in this a couple years ago, taking Altoids tins and putting survival items in it, or EDC items. And so I've carried this one for quite a while. And I just think it's really cool. I've watched several videos on this and that sort of thing, and I've experimented around, had given them to people as gifts and some things like that. But recently I did some leather work for Edward. I remember Edward did the Altoids tin sheath, the mini Altoids tin sheath, and also the larger one, which was actually this snuff container sheath. So that those were two pretty cool projects. He was very happy with them, and I appreciate him asking me. And he said, hey, I want to give you a tin, one of the tins that I put together. He carries these all the time. And so he gave me that and something else really cool, which I'll tell you in another video. So I was like, well, that's very nice of you, and so he sent it along. And this is it right here. And I'll show you mine here in just a little bit. But I want to focus on his because I opened it finally. And I told him, I said, I need to do a video on this because it is fantastic. And number one, I really love the size of this. A whole lot better than my normal Altoids tin. It's just a bit smaller. The micro or the mini tin is really just too small. And you can't fit very much stuff in it. But this, you can fit just enough, and it just works out great. I love the shape and the size of this, and that works out great. So survival tins and EDC tins, the idea is you can carry with you in a very compact package several items that could potentially, the premise behind it, the most popular premise, is you can carry some items with you that would help you potentially survive if you were stuck out in the woods. And so that's the idea behind it. And I do truly think there are some items in here that would be very helpful to have rather than not have, and that's for darn sure. So, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. The other idea, and that's more mine, this isn't really a survival tin, and I'll show you what's in here in a minute, more of an EDC tin, some things that would be helpful for everyday carry and on an everyday basis. And so that's kind of, and I'm sure you could do all kinds of different medical tins and that sort of thing. You just put in here what would be useful to you, and it provides a package that's small and pocketable. So you could even put this in your pocket, put it in a bag, put it in a sheath like I made for him. And so those are some of the ideas behind it. So the first thing I really like on this is the tape. Duct tape is very, very handy to have. In fact, I've had that in some of my others, tins and things. And I've used it several times. But he has got this on here where you can slide the duct tape off. So it not only provides duct tape for some use that you might need it for, but it also holds this tin together. And he has this packed very nicely. I'm probably never going to be able to get this all back in there. It'll take me a while. I will not do this on camera. So I'll probably have to stop the video and then move things around. So this is a Camel. It's a tobacco product, and I'm not promoting tobacco products. It's just, we just have this for the tin. You can actually buy these where they're blank and they don't have any kind of logo or writing on them at all. And I don't know what companies do that. I was thinking maybe CountyCom does, but don't quote me on that. So first we open it up, and even the lid here is utilized. You can see we've got a match striker here. We have some electrical tape, And I'm sure there's a pin, a straight pin underneath there. I haven't taken this off because I don't want to mess it up. But you can see we have probably a paper clip, and here is a safety pin. So those can all be very handy to use as hooks, potentially if there were fishing line. I don't know if there's fishing line in here. This is the first time I'm really getting into this and pulling everything out. But we definitely need this match striker, and it's basically glued to this, and you can use that for striking matches, which he does have in here, several different kinds. You notice too, there's a little bit of something here to seal it. And I don't know if that was part of the tin or something he added. Right off on top, we have an alcohol pad. These are so handy, and alcohol prep pad, and you can buy these very inexpensively in any drugstore. I immediately see that we have some matches, and these are some of the long lighting matches. So these are the kind of the strike anywhere, and then we have some normal matches, and so that's where this is going to come in handy. He's used shrink tubing to hold it all together because you want to reduce bulk. If you can reduce bulk in the tin, then you can put more in the tin. So that's very good, Edward. Excellent job on this. This is just awesome. And so you can put those together. Now, I don't know what this is, and it seems to have fluid in it, and I'm wondering if it's one of those little tiny glow sticks. I'm thinking it might be. So that could be used for signaling. Obviously, these are used for making a fire, and he's got a little bit of duct tape, or a little bit of tape on there, so I'm wondering if it was originally taped on the lid. Now the rest of this, a lot of this is fire making. So we've got some cotton here. This looks like it was from a cotton pad of some sort. It could be pulled apart and used as tinder to make a fire. The same thing here. This is all tinder. I don't know what it's from. This also looks like potentially could be used as tinder. We have a compass. We have a little button compass to help us find our way. If we're lost, that will help. We have a Victorinox Swiss Army knife. It looks like an SD Classic. And of course, that's going to be very helpful for cutting the twine, cutting all cutting tasks. It has tweezers, toothpick. It can be used, the knife can be used, and here the file, everything can be used in a potential situation where maybe you're stuck, and or even just on a daily basis if you want to use this or modify this to be an EDC tin. This is jute twine, which can be used again as fire tinder. So we've got that. That's very good. We've got more fire tinder along the sides here. This might even look like it has something like it was fire starter, like it could be soaked in some sort of accelerant and therefore be used to start a fire. Here's a half a book of matches. You can tell he cut that in half so it would fit in the tin better. So we could set those out. We've got matches. He said you could start several fires from this tin, and I believe it. So right here along the edge inside, we have a zip tie, which could come in very handy in connecting cordage or whatever. We have more of this fire starter. We have some twine, some cordage here. Not so much for fire starting, but could be used for other potential uses. And then we have another alcohol prep pad down in the bottom. So well packed and well thought out, lots of great things. Now I don't know what else is underneath here. I'm tempted here just to pull this back so we can see. Oh, there we go. A couple different safety pins underneath the electrical tape. and that'll just go right back on there. And then he's also got another one here. So we got several safety pins. There's not a paper clip in there. So the only thing I don't really know what it is this, and I think it's one of those illuminators. So pretty doggone cool tin here. Great job, Edward. I mean, this is just fantastic. Fantastic. I say, when I opened this, I got all excited. It took me a day or two to open it because I was busy with other things. So when I saw it, I was like, Edward, I gotta do a video. Now, Edward used to sell these, and he said it was fine to put his email address in the description of this video. So it will be down below, and you can contact him if you have questions about this, or maybe if you want him to make you one. He might make you one. So it seemed like he might be open to that. So I'll let you contact him to ask that question. But thank you, Edward, for this. This is very cool. Now I'm going to reset and show you what's in my EDC tin, because this is more of a survival, and but very cool and much cooler than mine. But we'll show you mine in just a minute. Okay, now I'm back. I'm going to show you what's in mine. Now, the one thing that I want to notice on his is that it doesn't rattle, and you just barely hear a little bit of something. That's probably the key ring on the Victorinox. That is fantastic. You want them packed that way. Listen to mine. It rattles all over the place. It needs to be repacked better. But this is one I've carried around in my bag, and you can see right off I've got Band-Aids in there because I play with knives. So sometimes I cut myself. Also in the lid, I've got a straight pin. I've got a little bit of paper that I can take a note or two. I've got a little cleaning cloth if I want to wipe something off. I've got a big pin that I cut down. So what I did was basically take this off, cut the hollow tubes, just one of those cheap big pins, cut the actual insert down and melted it, and then made a little pin. And it can actually go on your keychain. I saw that in a video and just wanted to try it. And then also I've got a little mini Bic lighter in case I need a lighter. I've gotten in there and gotten that out when I haven't carried a lighter. I've got this little multi-tool with pliers. I've used it a time or two. A good friend of mine who actually passed away gave me this as a gift, and I've kept these, and I carry it with me all the time. I have some medicines, various medicines. This is gas medicine, Smith Cone. So I've got this screw pop little tool that can be a screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver, or a slotted. Okay, and I've got more space to work with than Edward did on his. I've got a little Night Eyes pry tool in here. It's got, pry tool, scraper, that kind of thing if I need that. I have some safety pins, paper clip, and a button. I've had a button come off of my pants before, and so I've needed that. And so I also have a tiny little sewing kit in here with needle and thread, and so I could sew a button on if I needed to. And I have used that. I've got a little hacksaw. I really could take that out of there. I don't know what I would ever use that for, but I've got that in there. I have a P38. I think it's a P38 can opener. These actually work pretty decently. And so got that in there because I need to open a can. I've got an extra split ring for my Victorinox knives. I have a little flash drive, a 1 gig flash drive in case I need to save some files. And that's all I've got in here. I usually keep some Tylenol in here too, but I'm out. And then I've got the straight pin here and some Post-it notes. So there's that, my little EDC tin. And again, you can use these for different purposes. This is more of survival, and this is more of EDC. Very useful, both of them are, just different ones. I just thought you'd get a kick out of seeing something a little different. And so again, thank you to Edward for the tin. I love this very much. Thank you, my friend. And I wanted to show you this. So thank you all for watching.